Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
You know, I get a lot of emails on a daily basis. Chris@Pirillo.com. Great, here come a few more. A lot of the questions are really unanswerable. They're general questions or questions I've answered a million times over. But there's some that really kind of give me pause. And this one is one of those such messages. Lacho is the person's name, or their handle, or King Lacho, as he's known in the chat room at live.pirillo.com. He says, I've been watching you for about 2 to 3 months now, and I'm subscribed to your YouTube channel and all your podcasts. I'm really excited because this is the very first email I sent to you. I'm from Guatemala. I'm 20 years old. I'm currently studying Systems and Informatics Engineering on Galileo University here in Guatemala at galileo.edu. And I've been wondering what I can do in order to start a web-based line of work. I watched the video you recorded last night about software and life choices on Thursday night. It inspired me to ask you for some ideas. Since I'm from Guatemala, a third world country, I'm aware that there are pretty much no interesting opportunities down here on the industry. Believe me, the most interesting job a systems engineer can get here is working for some company, managing, creating, or arranging their databases at an underestimated salary. And I seriously do not want to do that. It's tormenting me. And I wanted to know if you could give me some ideas for a web-based way of making some money while still being able to combine that with my college studies and get some good grades while getting some money. Perhaps building a website or a web community, or maybe blogging very often like you do. I seriously don't know. I've had some ideas, but I really do not know what to do in order to find a way to fulfill my need to work freely. Doing what I like, which is working on computers on the internet, or in the internet. So I was hoping that you could perhaps put me on the right path. I appreciate your advice since I've been able to see how much recognition you have on the web, and I know that you have many contacts, and that if there's someone to turn to for advice, I know that's you. So I'll be waiting for your reply, and I want to thank you in advance because I really, really would love to hear what you've got to say. Thank you, and greetings from Guatemala. I've only been to Guatemala like once, and that was on our honeymoon. We didn't really get that far. At least I'm pretty sure we had an issue. Both Ponzi and I were sick on our honeymoon, and we decided to take a cruise in the Caribbean. I started to say Caribbean, then I corrected myself to say Caribbean, and unfortunately it didn't come out when I tried to say it. You can't have it both ways. You got to say it one way or another. No matter, we were in that region of the universe, and it was an interesting trip. I wish we had a chance to see more. And I believe it. Let me do I should have done this before I started the video, but I think I recorded a video in where we were at in Guatemala, and we didn't get that far. It was largely just we got off at the port of call and just walked around. We had a flight seeing tour over Guatemala scheduled for the day, but early this morning Ponzi's body started to stream in there. Yeah, there we go. And I mentioned this here, and I actually did this. I did a video of this. Can anyone, one of you guys in chat who's got voice, could you look up the video I uploaded to YouTube with Guatemala? And I noted it here. I said, I think the biggest gift we received today was from the population of Santo Tomas de Castillo. As we were preparing to set sail, dozens of local taxis and shopkeepers lined themselves parallel to our ship, to the tune of hundreds of vehicles and random Guatemalans. The cars started to flash their lights and sirens, dancing ensued, and everybody was waving us goodbye. It was a pretty awesome sight, very heartwarming and quite memorable. And I know I uploaded the video to YouTube somewhere, and if someone gets that link, I'll click it and play it back inside the browser on the MacBook here. Is that it, Adam? Thank you. As teleport bounces to my other screen. All right, I'm just gonna, I just have to. I'll have to turn it down a bit. It was great. It was just so. And that's as far as I got in Guatemala. It was just the strangest thing I'd ever seen, but it was just kind of neat. And I don't know if we got to it, but then they started dancing. It was just like this impromptu thing. So this is already on YouTube, and I'm just playing it back now. So let me just say, from what I know, And where I've been in Guatemala, you're in a good place. I mean, it seems like a friendly place. Of course, I don't know anything about the politics or the infrastructure or what have you. You do know it is a third world country. You have an opportunity, an amazing opportunity, and the fact that you are attaining a higher level of education is going to put you that much further ahead. I wouldn't be surprised if there are grants available from either your local government or possibly the national government to help you take an idea and bring it to life. And as long as you have an idea about what it is that you want to do. Since, again, this is about all I know from the country, know nothing about your culture, nothing about your particular background, but I'd be shocked, number one, if someone is watching this video and knows specifically of a program, leave a follow-up comment, remark, or whatnot. It's a good question. What is the internet doing to enable commerce across countries' borders? You know, if you have an opportunity to put up a website, I should be able to visit that website. I'll go there. Now, you might have advertising on the website so long as it's legal to have that advertising placed there. If it's an interesting website, maybe it performs a service. Maybe you can do something really, really well. I've had contracts with web designers in other countries and never had an issue. I just paid them for their job. So maybe you do want to do something in web design. Maybe you want to get into system administration in an ad hoc manner. Maybe you want to do it full time, but more of being a part-time, full-time, or doing system administration part-time for your full-time gig. And that's possible. There are a lot of people out there who don't really need a full-time sysadmin to keep their servers up and running. I am relying on, you see a logo come in through here every once in a while, Thunder IT. Alan is my part-time, full-time sysadministrator, and I really appreciate the things that he does because I don't need to hire someone full-time, just need to hire him part-time. And I pay him according to the hours that he works on average. So he's kind of on retainer, and it's worked out quite well for me. So you may have to start thinking a little bit outside the box. Now, one thing I remember about Guatemala is all these crafts and arts, and you could tell the ones that were just purchased to be resold. I mean, you'd start seeing the same things over and over again, but then you could look at something and say, wow, that was, hand created. That's a one of a kind. And to help enable those who don't know anything about technology and push their arts further onto the internet, I think there's a gigantic opportunity for you. If you understand, let's say, the basics of how online auctions work, eBay certainly, and if you know how to capture an artisan. Okay, so let's say it's this. Let's say you started. This is not an idea. Okay, I guess it's just kind of like I'm just talking out. It's just coming out, right? Okay, so just take it for that. Okay, it is an idea, but I'm just saying it's not fully fleshed out. What if you had like a video podcast where every week you would take and film or record audio and video of a local artisan, and maybe you'd have to travel, but you'd heard a lot about their craft, and you knew that they did this, maybe they made something very, very well and high quality stuff, and you recorded them, you kind of highlighted them, made them an internet superstar, if only for that week, but then it's got some permanence on the web. Well, then subscribers could find out a little bit about Guatemalan culture. Maybe they like it a lot, like, wow, I'd really like something they're creating or what they're doing. I really like their music, or I like this, I like that. Where can I buy it? Well, then you become that facilitation engine. You figure out how to take payment. So whether it's through something like PayPal, and I don't know the legalities, or something where you can take in payment, make sure that you get a small piece of that for facilitation, and then passing a little bit along to the artist. Not only are you helping your culture and your country, and as you've noted quite clearly, but you're also doing something inside of technology, and if done the right way. Oh, sorry, I accidentally hit play again. My computer started beeping. That's just an idea. So that's content, it's commerce, it's culture, it's technology. I don't know if that could necessarily turn into a full-time gig, or really the value of that. But you could at least take that idea and say, here's what I want to do. I want to make some Guatemalan internet superstars with people who are steeped in culture, share it with the world. I need to hone my video craft. I need to do this. In order to do this, you'll need a certain amount of money, and then apply for a grant. I would there's got to be some kind of grant structure set up for you. And maybe the university's got one. Maybe you talk to a counselor at the university or the equivalent at your university to find out, what kind of options are available to you. I know here in the U.S., just about every university has something like that, like scholarships or grants. If you come to them with a proposal saying, here's what I want to do, can you help fund this? Can you give me the money to be able to do this so that I can do more or I can do it better? Possibly utilizing your own country's or just the local university's brain power to get something accomplished. And in many cases, you may have to do it like a proof of concept, record 4 or 5 of them, put them on the web. If you can't design a web page well, find someone at the university who can, so that when people look at it, they're like, wow, that's pretty amazing. So not only do you have a story, I'm not saying that's the perfect storm. I'm not saying that is what you're going to do. It's not really an idea, but it is an idea. I don't know. What is it worth? It's worth whatever someone makes it worth. And it's certainly, I think, a possibility. You obviously have got the skills. You've got the access. You've got a few ideas just bubbling around in your brain. What it's going to take, in my experience, is just doing it, trying it. Try it. If it doesn't work, after a certain point, you just kind of have to say, okay, fine, it didn't work. Maybe I tweak it a little. Maybe I try something different, and then keep going that route. In the meantime, you may have to take a job at a larger company and work there for a while, but then pursue your personal passions as an extracurricular activity or an activity outside of that work environment, so long as you haven't signed any contracts with your workplace that everything that you create is vicariously theirs. So long as you've done it or you start doing your own thing before you join that other company, you should be fine. At least, again, I'm only thinking from a U.S. perspective. I know other people have run into issues that way. So maybe I'll make it to Guatemala again at some point in the future, and if and when I do, I'll remember, and we'll see if we can connect. I don't know when it's going to happen again, though. I wish I would have had more time to spend there. We were going to fly around. I don't know what it was. May have been some ruins, and just couldn't make it because we got sick. So no matter, Lacho, King Lacho, thanks again for subscribing, for watching, and for writing. And certainly, if anybody else out there who is from Guatemala, say hello. Or if you've got any ideas or suggestions for where he can go, where he can turn to, some other ideas for him, I'd be interested in finding out, just because I'd like to know when the next person asks me what they can do. Because we know very well that the videos that we're recording here with the community and YouTube, etc., they're worldwide. It's all around the world. So from Central America to South America to Australia to New Zealand to Europe to Asia we're all over the place. And that's the nature of the internet, is we are all over the place. And anyway, my email address is chris@pirillo.com. And of course, you're also welcome to join us pretty much all the time. I don't know what time it is where you're at. It's kind of late for me here, but then again, I'm a late night kind of person. And so that's why I get a lot of international visitors, I think, is because I'm still awake when they're just waking up. It's kind of how it goes, I guess. But if you want to join us in our chat room, the language that we speak is English. So hopefully that can be a common language for everybody. And we just limit it to English because we don't know any other language, at least the majority of us who are in the chat room. And I only really speak English. I can find my way around a language pretty quickly if I immersed myself in it long enough. But beyond that, I speak English. So thank you for writing in English. Very well written. And that was a compliment, considering I was an English teacher. No matter. If you would like to talk about hardware, software, ideas, internet, business, whatever, you're free to stop by pretty much any time. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.